Family, welcome to the channel. The channel is Mr. Biscuit Speaks. Like, share, subscribe, comment, correspond with me in the chats over this very important conversation. DNA, who's one of my all-time favorites. Right? I love, as a battle rapper myself, I look up to the guys who actually bring hip hop with them. People you can't really run up on in the streets and just start rapping because they'll still get you, right? The reason I say I look up to those guys is because I lack that kind of skill. You know what I'm saying? Like DNA is one of those guys who could just he can just show up and beat you like without even preparing for you, right? He's one of those guys, definitely a legend, definitely pioneer. And he has a very, very good conversation. I wanted you guys to correspond with me on it. Let's see what DNA has to say right here.
What's going too far in battle rap? Like, is there a limit in battle rap?
Absolutely. And I've seen people talking about it, and for the ones that saying there's no limits, it is a limit.
Because I do have some people that say there's no limits.
Watch this. They said it. No, they said in battle.
There's definitely no limits with Arsenal. Arsenal, I think he's made an entire battle rap career off of pushing everybody's boundaries, right? Saying the worst things that you could possibly say. And that sparks kind of a very difficult discussion because the question becomes, would battle rap be in a better state if the Arsenals of the world weren't in it? And immediately my mind just red flags. Like, of course not. Arsenal's given us some of the greatest moments. He's been to several different countries bringing eyes to battle rap. Without people like Arsenal, there wouldn't be space for a lot of people that are involved. Let's just say that. At the same time, Arsenal is willing to take it there. He's made, like I said before, his entire career based off of disrespect, the type of disrespect that makes some sponsorship money kind of want to stay away and kind of, watch from a distance. It's a difficult thing because if you say that people like Arsenal belong in battle rap and have actually contributed meaningfully to the sport, then how could you, on the other hand, say that DNA is right about certain things needing to be off limits as a matter of course in this sport? No, that's a difficult conversation. It is.
Battle rap, there was no limits. There always was limits. When you was in the streets, you could not used to be able to touch somebody. How do you think the E&J joint and the Mav joint happened?
Right.
Because that wasn't a limit.
Right.
Then we got to the format that we do now. Suge started.
Math Hoffa was wilding though. I don't think that, he touched Math Hoffa. I think the brim of his hat maybe like touched Math or whatever. And,
life, the niggas that find bitches and fuck them, and the niggas that, yo son, get on my face, son. Get on my face, son.
Started tapping niggas' pockets, niggas started getting in people's faces, and that was cool. You can't tell me back in the day, you come to Queens and you mention somebody that, forget about a family member, you mentioned somebody that died that's from Queens, that's a legend in hip-hop. You're not making it out of there.
Proof.
No.
When Suge mentioned Proof.
No, but I'm talking about...
I'm just saying.
I'm saying that's
in the streets.
I'm saying that's when it got to the stage.
Okay.
I'm saying go to Detroit and say that shit about Proof. Nobody's gonna say, oh yeah, he's just battle rapping. Go to Harlem and diss Big Al and niggas will be like, oh, he's just battle rapping. Go say a bar in Jamaica, Queens about Run DMC and see if niggas let you leave out. Not making it out of there. So there always been limits. People got in here and jaded doing bullshit and getting away with it and saying there's always a limit, bro, because there's a limit to your moral compass on what you think you should be saying or not.
Right.
Me, I'm not telling nobody you shouldn't say it. Well, the one thing that I think people need to stop doing is thinking that there's not consequences for what comes with what you say. You can say whatever you want as long as you're prepared for what. This is the whole thing. If I tell you SMD and you punch me in the face, I can't say, oh, yo, we was just having a conversation. He snuck me. You didn't sneak me. I said something that warrants me to be on point for what I said.
He's not wrong, right? He's saying like, look, whatever you say, you got to be prepared to deal with the consequence. And there's a degree to which that's trivially true. It's like, yeah, there are certain people that'll punch you in the mouth for things that you say. I think what Uncle Ra's trying to get at is it appropriate in battle rap not to be able to keep your composure given anything, the whole span of things that somebody might say? Like, for instance, an Arsenal or somebody like a J2, somebody who's just known for going too far and kind of taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, there are people who are going to punch you. There's going to be people who lay you out, talking about their mom, talking about, deceased relatives, things like that. But what Ra's trying to get at is it okay? Is like, do you condone it in a battle rap format? as a battle rapper, do you need to be completely stoic and able to accept that these are just words, right? Like, let me know your perspective in real time. Let me know in the comments.
If you talk about my mother or father being in the ground, I could choose to come back at you, or I could choose to go upside your head, and you should be prepared for either one because you let it come out your mouth. That's the part that, nigga, there's no battle rap, bro. No battle rap. You're never gonna, for me personally, right? I lost everybody in my family. My mom, my grandma, my dad, my uncle, my great-grandma, my cousin. You're not gonna convince me that if you have any bit of respect for me, knowing that at one point I had to write a eulogy, I had to sit up there, look at somebody that I love in a casket, that if you fuck with me on any level, not even as a friend, but just, I love what this guy does, that's okay. Why? Out of all the 1,050,000, you can talk about my fingers looking like E.T., I have a fake tooth, my hairline being crooked, if that's what you think. I used to be bummy. I slept on cliffside. It's
I'm battling you.
Listen, I battled Danny Myers a month after my mother passed away. 1 month after my mother died, right? And my mother was somebody who would joke. She would brag about like writing my bar. She would talk about she wrote my material. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she was in the hospital, right? And I'm with her in the hospital, and she's talking about like, yeah, it's like, yo, you got Danny Myers and you think that you can rap better than me. Like, my mom was it. You know what I'm saying? Still, and you know, I told Danny Myers that I wasn't necessarily as prepared for him as I could have been because my mother passed, and I was, you know, giving so much attention to that. Shout out to Danny for not bringing that up at all. You know, he's just one of those guys. Nobody knows my mother like that. No one knows my mother like I knew her besides my other family members. And so if someone is saying something about her, to me, in my mind, it's not about her. It's about a symbol that this person doesn't understand. They're trying to get a crowd reaction, bro. It's like they don't know who she is. I mean, so let's say this was a friend. This is somebody who used to come over my house all the time, and they're saying something about my, like, that might be a little bit different. But a battle rapper is not really ever talking about your mother because they don't know her. You know what I'm saying? And let me know if I'm completely bugging. This is just a completely different perspective. This is just me. Right, let me know if I'm off.
It's so many, no, but it's so many other things you can be creative about than to talk about the dead or talk about somebody's child. I think that's corny, and we're deemed as being the most creative people in battle rap, and that's what we're doing. And then again, what these niggas don't understand, right? They always cry about, yo.
Listen, New Jersey Twerk versus Rum Nitty. New Jersey Twerk versus Rum Nitty. There was a point where New Jersey Twerk actually mentions by name some of Rum Nitty's relatives or friends. Like, he mentions them by name, and Rum actually yokes up Twerk like this, right? And like it almost became it almost went super left, right? They had to divide them for a second. And so I think when you're calling people out by name, like when you're using the government name of like someone's, but then who am I necessarily to draw that boundary? Is there no end to the research that somebody can do? So maybe I'm bugging.
The money. That's why y'all not getting the money. I'm gonna talk about this. And who's gonna watch that? What monster energy is gonna watch that battle and say, yo, I'm gonna go put some money behind this person that's talking about dead people or kids?
See, this is where I'm wrong. This is where DNA completely wins the argument, bro. And listen, man, like, he's not wrong at all. Like, and I wish I could show you. I probably could pull it up, and I might, you know what I'm saying? I edit this video, I might pull it up for you. There are about 10 different things, you know, because I'm monetized. My channel is fully monetized, right? So before I upload anything, the algorithm asks me, like, is there this kind of language? Is there this kind of disrespectful references? Is there this kind of thing? And the more you check yes, the less ads are able to kind of the less sponsors want to work with your channel, right? You can have a lower CPM, which is cost per 1,000 views, right, that you're getting. DNA is not wrong at all about you sacrificing money. For what? Why? To make, to get a crowd reaction off of, something that you have no business necessarily talking about? Like, are you a lyricist? Can you do with your raps what you're trying to do with this, with the disrespect, right? So I see what he's saying there, and I think, that kind of leans me more in DNA's direction.
He's gonna watch that battle and say, yo, I'm gonna go put some money behind this person that's talking about dead people or kids. Who's gonna do that?
Nobody.
And then y'all wonder why y'all be in the positions that y'all in. So all
Right,
y'all
right.
promoting it, cool. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, not talking about it. And y'all keep talking about it and see where it gets you, bro. That's why it doesn't ascend, bro, because it's a bad mentality of people thinking like, yo, it's watered down. It doesn't have to be watered down at all, but I think the dead, it's never been cool. Even if you got beef in the streets, once somebody's dead, the beef is over. You're not, how can you be in competition with something that doesn't?
God Bless the Dead is like, it's one of those old, like, hip hop statements, bro. It's like, and I don't know where we got off of that or where we left that, like to where the dead can like be brought up and mentioned. Like, it's not, I really don't get where that, I mean, it wouldn't, first of all, even it would never register in my mind. It would never even appear as a thought to dig into somebody's personal life to that degree. So I'm not one of the guys to where that even appears in my mind as a potential strategy. I'm too much of a lyricist. I have too much fun actually thinking of complicated ways to manipulate bars and structures. Like, that's where the fun is for me. So like, if I'm digging into your paperwork and trying to expose your record of being a snitch and all that, not that it's not entertaining when it's done well, because it is. But, I think DNA's cooking right now. I'm not going to watch the whole video because I don't want this video to be, a substitute for 15 minutes of fame. Go watch this whole interview. I'm just going to give us a little bit more.
Doesn't physically exist.
Rex said the beef ain't over until you're in the grave or some shit. It was hard.
Yeah, but once you're there, it's over.
Right.
And a kid and a dead person can't defend themselves. So that's how I always looked at it.
That's how I always
It ain't
looked at
nothing to really talk about, bro. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how these other niggas feel, but personally, through my whole battle rap career, and especially now where I'm at in life, I don't have that much animosity for none of you niggas that I want to talk about your child or somebody that died, bro. It's not that deep. If it's that deep, I won't battle you.
Right.
We can do something like, I won't battle you. It's cool, bro. I don't got that for nobody. So I don't know where it's cool points. I don't know where it's fly. I don't think it's ill. I don't think it's, but I'm not telling you not to do it.
Think about this, man, and tell me where I'm bugging, man. Like, please, this is what I need. You know what I'm saying? I want to, like, tell me if I'm off. I agree with what DNA is saying. Like, there's a place that you get in life, and I'm not going to say that it's always a financial place. It can just be a certain age where you suddenly become wiser. You have enough insights and epiphanies to where you're just like, wow, I see things differently. Sometimes it's having a son or daughter. Sometimes it's getting married. Just these radical things that happen in life where you no longer want to go back to a dark place. You feel me? And so it's like, I don't know. See, that's not an argument for saying that it's inappropriate in battle. I mean, to say that battle rap can't contain disrespect is oxymoronic. It's a contradiction. Whatever, it's absurd. It's a absurdity. Your battle rap is about disrespect. And so I guess what we're trying to determine is should there be a line that is never crossed, and who are you to say that there should be that line? I definitely think that DNA has the best argument that I've heard so far. And that argument is sponsorships. What the hell are we doing, right? That's the best argument I've heard in favor of the position. We shouldn't go personal about family members, disrespecting the dead and all that stuff, other than just like having a moral backbone, being a human being. Like if being a human being, being a moral person, if that's not a good enough argument, which I think it should be, I think DNA's argument here completely obliterates every counter argument. That is like, do you want to make money? How much money do you want to make? Like, preparing a battle for a top tier opponent is one of the most difficult things I've ever done, right? Like, preparing the type of bars that it takes to beat elite lyricists. It's very rewarding, but it's also very challenging. Why would you want to do that without and like block the sponsorship money? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a phenomenal argument. It is.
Do you think there should be a written rule in contracts? No deceased people or
I mean,
kids.
it's all about what you do. Like me,
No,
I'm
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be corny to implement that
No.
in contracts?
No, because I'm telling you right now, a nigga
Okay.
can't say nothing about my mom, and that's gonna be in the contract.
Right.
And if you don't want to sign a contract, that's cool. I won't come back.
Right. Right.
See, I wonder what DNA. And here's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like God bless DNA's mom, all the mothers who passed, my mom. If that contract is violated in the battle, do you go after your opponent right there in that moment, or do you wait till the battle is over and go after the company? So I guess the question is, what does that contract mean, right? Then what? I guess it's like, if they don't respect the contract, then what? But you look, I think DNA's argument here holds up. I definitely respect DNA. I got to see him perform live in Denver back when I had a crew, me, Clutch, Detour, J Money. We had Disaster, DNA, and Conceited. I was trying to convince my crew, because we had some money. And I was like, yo, let's not spend money getting obliterated by people who we didn't earn. So yeah, they came out there and wiped out my crew in Denver. So it's Disaster versus Detour. There's J Money versus who did J Money? I think it was J Money versus DNA. Clutch versus Conceited, and I didn't battle, right? Even though I was the leader of my squad out in Denver, we were called Dub Trays. I did not battle. I was like, no, I'm not going to pay money for somebody who I didn't earn, and then get obliterated. Shout out to those guys though. Let me know what you think. Correspond with me in the comments. Let me know if you want a part 2 to this.